for presenting today. Andrew is with Fidelity Title. If you don't already know that, sorry, I'm driving. I'm coming back from Seattle. But yeah, Andrew's going to be talking about a couple new things with that Fidelity Title is now offering. And so, Andrew, I'll give the floor to you. And Robyn, can you give access to Andrew to share his screen?
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Perfect.
you very much, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to cover a couple different topics today. The first one is our Earnest Money mobile deposit. That launched on Monday. I have a short little one and a half minute video that kind of covers it, and then I'll run through a PowerPoint as well. You'll get used to it as it goes. It's very similar to depositing checks in a banking app. The other side of it is it doesn't require any sort of new downloaded app to your phone. It's all web-based, which is really simple. And that was what we were going for, is that it would be accessible for every device, Android, iPad, iPhone. Didn't have to deal with an app store or the Google Play Store and get permissions. It's all done web-based. So that's the first side of it. And the other one I'm going to talk about, it's been out for a long time. It's called Live Look. So for all of our title reports, there's actually a simpler way to look at your title report. It's color coded based on the immediate needs. A lot of people don't click through the link to get there, so I'll show you how to do that as well. So first off, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, host disabled participant screen sharing. Maybe.
Give me 2 seconds, I'll fix that. I apologize.
It's all right.
I'll just say something really quick. TJ in our office, TJ Tuttle, he, I don't think he'd mind me sharing this. He's buying a home currently, and he just told me, I think yesterday, he's like, man, I haven't bought a home in a while. And he says, it's really nice to see Fidelity, to see what it's like on the buyer's end. He's like, this new Earnest Money is awesome. He said it's so quick. And he's just been raving about how the service is on the buyer side. On the agent side, we often just see that. But TJ I was hoping he would be here so he could say something, but I'll just repeat what he was saying. He was just saying that it was incredibly user-friendly and easy to do. So
very glad to hear that. Yeah, I actually, I've been jumping in and helping escrow with wire fraud calls too. So I actually called TJ yesterday and left him a voicemail warning him of the dangers of wire fraud. I'm sure he needed that. But we want to make sure that everybody's safe. So when you talk to your buyers out there, make sure they verify their wire instructions directly with our office, because it actually is a serious topic. So I do have my screen up. I imagine you both can see it. All right, so let me know can you hear the sound as well? No? Okay. Well, they don't talk, so I'll just let it roll.
We can also, if you have this downloaded or if you have a link to this, we can share that in our recap email so they can listen to it as well.
There we go. So that's that. Now I'm going to jump into the PowerPoint. So it is Start Safe, our digital earnest money deposit. I know there's been other companies and programs that are doing earnest money deposits. There's a couple apps that are out there that have been doing them. We really wanted to make sure that it was built into our system, but also didn't require any sort of mobile technology that you didn't already have on your phone. So when you get start of a transaction with Fidelity, you get this Start Safe email, buyer and seller. It's the very first step of opening escrow. So when you're writing contracts for your buyers and sellers, please do include email addresses for your consumers. That way we don't have to call around and wait on this information and disrupt any timelines. So I'm gonna skip that one. When you first get that email for the earnest money deposit, they're gonna start you into your Start Safe technology, and we do a two-factor authentication. We wanna make sure that we can send you a text message or a phone call and give you a secure code to match your identity. So we're now matching the phone number on the contract with the email on the contract to make sure that we're talking to the right consumer. You get that 6-digit code. Everybody, I hope, is familiar with those two-factor authentications. We'll add that in to verify your identity. Check our privacy and terms. Of course, California always has a little extra. And then you get into your online deposits. So it used to be that we just were collecting information for a buyer or a seller. So statement of identity information, property details, wiring instructions, because of course you still can wire your earnest money as well. If you prefer to do it with the online deposit, with the taking picture of a check, that's what this allows you to do. So it's a very simple step-by-step process. That step one is just the newest step. So we're going to go in and we'll look at online deposits. And you have a deposit consent form. So this is authorizing our company to use your check and electronically deposit those funds for your earnest money. And this does accept personal checks, cashier's checks, whatever it may be. The personal checks still do take time to clear. So be aware of that. If you're doing a cash sale and you're trying to close in 3 or 4 days, you still do want to wire your earnest money or bring a cashier's check in or mail one into the office if there is earnest money on a fast cash deal. And then we have the mobile functionality. So the easiest way, of course, to do this is on a mobile device, which is going to be a phone or a tablet, to be able to access the camera and take a photo of the back and the front of the check. So your computer will ask you, or your phone will ask you, excuse me, to allow the access to your camera. So you can start on your computer and go through your email and start the Start Safe process. And a text message will be sent to your device that's linked to your phone number. It's going to be the phone number that is on the contract. That is the only contact information we use unless we receive something else directly from the consumer. And that would mean from the email address that was already on the contract. If they add another one, it has to come from that original contract email, or they call us directly from that phone number. And sometimes we'll turn around, we'll just call that phone number back to make sure it wasn't masked. So you get the text, you'll open the link, and it'll take you just to the web. So you'll either be on Safari or Chrome or whatever it might be that you use on your different device. And you'll be set up to take photos of your personal checks. It'll have you rotate your device for the easy landscape screen. Then it will ask for access, of course, to your camera. If you accidentally click cancel, remember to go backwards into your settings and choose to allow, again, Start Safe to access your camera. Front and back, take a quick picture of your completely written out check. Remember, it's always pay to the order of Fidelity National Title. If you have an order number already on file, you can put that in the memo line. Otherwise, the property address is a good way to find you. Hopefully your name on the top left matches the name on the contract as well.
Make sure that you, when you're taking the picture of the check, that you've got a nice, clear, easy background, like something where there's a lot of negative space. I've seen brokers, I've actually helped our brokers sometimes like learn how to deposit checks on their mobile, like on their phones, and they'll put it down on like a piece of paper or a tablecloth or something, and like that won't work. It's got to be easy to read.
Yep, and contrasting is good. So you can see this one's on a black background with a white check. Of course, those numbers on this one are blurred out, but it will recognize those numbers to make sure that it accepts your image. So you'll have an image verification so that we can read all of the digits for your account numbers and routing number. It's good to note that we have to have an open escrow file to accept the check. We have to have somewhere to put the money. We don't have a big holding tank of cash that we just deposit earnest money in. It actually goes directly into the files. However, when you are doing this step, you've already received the email as a buyer. So we do have an open escrow. So you don't have to worry about it if you're using this. If you are wiring earnest money, be aware that if we don't have an open file, you have to be patient and wait. That's it. So a couple things I mentioned before. Common question, is there an app required? No, it uses the web-based portal. So you don't have to have any special technology or download to your phone to use this app, use this software.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Absolutely.
You may not know this, but if I had mutual acceptance yesterday and I take a picture today, will the receipt indicate that that I deposited today? Or no, let's actually phrase it better. If I'm depositing on the second day when a buyer has to deposit it, is that technically the date of receipt?
Yes.
Even if the funds don't go in the next day until next day?
The date that we receive the image is the date of receipt of funds.
Okay, fantastic. So just a reminder to all the agents out there, the Form 21 reads that a lot of people think you have 3 days to get an earnest money. You have 3 days if the agent is delivering it, but you only have 2 days if the buyer's delivering it. So the buyer should have it in within 2 days of mutual acceptance if they're doing it this way. A quick hack, not hack, but a quick way to simplify that is just use a Form 31. And then the Form 31 trumps it by saying you can check the box that says earnest money to be deposited within 3 days, and then your buyer will have 3 days to do this. So that's what I do on my offers.
And Sunday does not count.
So yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and holidays do not count as days. Andrew, how can someone? I can just imagine this is going to be something that hackers get their hands on, and how can someone ensure that this is Fidelity sending them the right link and it's not somebody else sending them a link saying they are Fidelity and they have another app like this that just, that, oh yeah, put your checking and routing number here. How would you advise a buyer to be confident that that's not happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Start Safe comes directly from our office. It comes from your escrow team. So it's not a generic email. It'll come from, for like TJ's, Lisa Hayes or Trina Davis, sending that secure email to Start.
So if it's not coming from your closer, then then double check.
Right. And it's important to always open that email address and see, lisa.hayes@fnf.com.
Right.
It's important to always call and verify when you're dealing with financial information. So if you get that email as a buyer, it's great to call our office directly and make sure and read that email address back and say, hey, is this your email address? Because you're right, hackers will go out there and it'll be lisa.l.hayes@fnfg.com, right? I mean, they will spoof anybody and everybody that they possibly can.
Right.
So I will tell you that delivering a cashier's check to our office is always the safest way to ever send money. All of our offices right now do have door slips on the side, so you can just drop an envelope through. Our doors are locked for the most part in the lobbies, so people can't get in or they can get out, but they can't get in without ringing the doorbell. And then we do send a receipt same day. So if you drop a check at our office, we'll send a receipt same day.
Awesome.
But obviously in all cases, that's not possible. So if your buyer is remote, isn't comfortable with wiring, wants to take the picture, they have that option. Okay. Any other questions on earnest money mobile deposits? And for everybody who's watching this recorded video, feel free to give me a call or an email or a text. I'm always available. I don't have my contact info up.
Include your info in our recap as well, Andrew.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to exit out of this one and switch over to Live Look. Totally separate topic, but the same industry. So Live Look is part of our title reports, and it has been for, gosh, I think it's been a year. But it's glanced over quite a bit. A lot of brokers admittedly don't read their title reports. I know that you all do, but I get calls all the time of ones who do not. So we wanted to make it a bit easier because the old-fashioned title report is pretty jumbled. There's a lot of legal verbiage all the way through it. So it's hard for brokers to know what to look for. So we tried to simplify that down. So when you get your title report, there we go. This is your very first page of the PDF. So the attached document to the email, and this comes out on a preliminary title, and then there's always a supplemental when you add the buyer. We always recommend ordering preliminary title before your listing goes live to make sure that we can scrub anything that might help us close faster, especially if you get those cash deals. For example, if you're selling John Smith's house, he is going to have 50,000 liens attached to his name. So we're going to need additional documents clearing that name of all those additional liens that most likely are not his or hers or whoever's. So on that first page of the PDF, there's a blue hyperlinked section that says to view your new Fidelity title Live Look report, click here. When you do that, it takes you into a web-based portal. Now that web-based portal has all of the main criteria that you're going to want to be looking for or need, such as your legal descriptions, your plat maps, and any sort of exceptions. Those special exceptions are the area of the title report that you'll want to pay close attention to. For example, if there is a DSHS lien against a property, or a mechanics lien filed against a property, or any CC&Rs are going to be hyperlinked. HOA documents are hyperlinked in those special exceptions. Those are all now highlighted and color-coded based on if they are standard, we see it in every title report piece, or if it's the deed of trust, or something a little more serious. Okay. For example, the yellow items, property taxes, deeds of trust, assessments. Red items, judgments, court actions. Those are serious items that you'll want to pay attention to, because those have to be paid at closing for us to be allowed to close a transaction. Sometimes you can call the courts or we can call the IRS and they'll release that lien, but they have to transfer it to something else that the seller owns. So there are possibilities, but you have to be aware of that because it can delay closing. When you click on those items, it does expand the view. So you can actually see the judgment, and then it'll tell you what that judgment is. So for example, I can't really see right here, but this one is property taxes. So it shows what is owed yearly and what has been paid. So right now, property taxes were actually pushed out, I think, to June 1. I can't remember the exact date that they were due this year. But of course, due earlier than that. So you should have the first half paid by now on your title reports. So it'll show paid and unpaid. If there's delinquent taxes, it'll show up in red. Okay. This one is an HOA community facilities. I'm gonna go backwards. So on this, there are hyperlinks on all of them. So if you actually want to view the recorded document, you click on the recording number. It's hyperlinked in the reports. So you can actually pull up that recorded document, or if, let's say you want to review the CC&Rs and the HOA information, you can click that recorded document and actually have the printout. Some of them, are handwritten from the 1940s, but they're in there. Your effective date of the title report, that's going to be when the first one comes out is going to be the first report. It's effective the day we write it, and then you'll get supplementals that will move that effective date forward. Live link to look at the property. And you can share this. So if you get the preliminary title report and the selling agent wants to see it, you can send the live look link over to them instead of just that PDF. Okay. And you can click follow so you get notifications as the title report is being updated. So for example, that John Smith one, your seller fills out a statement of identity with their social security number and any identifying factors such as properties where they've lived or have owned property. And as we clear that title report, you can get notified of those cleared items. Okay. The link to the PDF of the title report will just take you back to that original report. A link to all exceptions and printable PDF files, you can click on the left as well. Instead of clicking through the collapsible exceptions, you can click that one link on the side and have all the recorded documents. Link to the vesting deed. So that's a quick upload to the MLS for your requirements or for the signatures. Legal description as well is going to be your Exhibit A. Now, if you're selling again an older property, something that maybe changed hands previous to 1992, we're not going to have an Exhibit A until we build a title report. Those aren't going to be done. So the MLS has allowed you to upload last recorded deeds in the interim. So always remember that. But here's your Exhibit A to get your initials on mutual. Plat map and a link to download. Okay. It works on mobile devices as well as computers, so it scales down. So it's not a, a pinch and zoom to be able to read everything. And there you are. Again, I kind of breezed through that, but if you have questions or want to reach out to me directly with any questions, you can. And I can walk you through a title report that maybe is a live one that you've received because you just ordered preliminary title, and we can walk through it together, and I can let you know piece by piece what to look for, what to be aware of, and what's an oh no. Thank you for your time. Robyn or Isaac, do you have any questions on the live look?
It looks good. Can you send this to me as well so we can share, so our brokers can go through it at their own speed? Yes,
absolutely. I'll send you the slideshows and the video. Please do just distribute directly to your folks instead of posting online.
Of course.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.
You're very welcome. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Happy selling.
You too.
Much. We really appreciate you, Andrew. And Isaac, I can see your tummy, so I'm gonna stop the video here.
End of